This is the second part of the video for Microsoft Outlook 2007, and in this second part we're going to go on to the other parts of Outlook, mainly calendar, contact, task, and notes, and some other small features. I was mentioning earlier that you can actually use Outlook to get all of your email in one place. So if you have a Gmail account, or if you have multiple Gmails account and a Hotmail account, you can have all the emails come in one place. And to add new email accounts, or if you made some changes to the email account you already had, you wanted to edit it, you go to Tools, Account Settings, and in the account settings, like right now I have my email address listed here, and I could choose it to change. If I wanted to update, say I moved my email service provider to someone else, I could click change, and then I could make the changes here. Or I could add new, and then I just continue with the steps I had done in the first video by choosing POP3, next, and then just continue finishing it up. You can also see an option here called data files. This is where your Outlook folder is located. You can go to the open folder. So if you were moving to a new Outlook or a different computer, you could actually copy this folder, this file especially, not the folder, just a file called outlook.pst, which has pretty much all of your Outlook stuff in one place. So that's a good option to know. So that's about adding new email addresses. Just going to close this. Next we'll look at contacts. We can have your own address book in Outlook. So if you look on the left hand side, there's a contacts category, and I've already have created some. So if I wanted to add new contacts, I could click on the new button. Now the way this new button works, in the left hand corner below the word file, left hand top, the new button, if you are in contacts and you press new, it opens the window to type new contact. If you are in the mail and you press new, it automatically launches a new email option. If you are in calendar and you hit new, it launches into a new calendar option. Okay. So we'll just come to contacts and you click on new, and then you can just go ahead and type the name Lisa Jones, and then you can have the email address. I'm just making these up, and you can put their telephone numbers, leave notes, whatever else you want to add to this contact list, and you just hit save and close. You can also create distribution lists, which is groups. You want to send, you have this group of 5-10 people that you send email to all the time. You can create a group. So you just click on the drop down button next to the word new, choose distribution list, type a name. Say for example up here I'll just type test 1. I already have a group called test, and now I just have to hit select members, and then I choose the people that will be part of this group. So I just click Lisa, add, Jay, add, John, add, click OK. They are added, and I hit save and close. So there is my testing 1 group. Double click on it and you can go back to editing it by adding new users to your list, or if you wanted to remove something, click on it, hit delete to remove them. Now when you want to write an email to any of your contact lists, so if I just click on this new button and then choose mail message, and in the TO section I can just go ahead and type the word John, and there's the name shows up because they're in my contact list, and I can choose it. Okay. If you don't see this BCC section in your new mail message option, then you just need to go to the options tab and just make sure you say show BCC. So this will make sure that your BCC is available to you. And if you are new to emails, most people know BCC stands for blind carbon copy. It means whatever email address you put in there, nobody will know who's getting these emails. So usually when you are forwarding emails like jokes and things like that, try to put everybody's email address in the BCC so nobody sees other people's email addresses. That's the best way to do it. And there are other functions for it. CC stands for carbon copy. So if you put, say if I send an email to John and also send an email to Lisa, John and Lisa, they both will know that I send an email to both. But if I send an email to John in the TO section, and in the BCC I type Lisa email, John will not know that I sent an email to Lisa. Okay, so that's the way you do it. Just going to close this, say no. Same way, if I wanted to write an email to the group, so I can just type the word test or testing1 and hit tab. Let me make sure I type the right word. Testing1. Okay, it didn't show up. Test showed up, so if I hit test, it shows up like that. Even testing1 should show up. I don't know why. Something's wrong. I'll have to look at it. Oh, right there. So usually when you see it like that, that means the group's been added. So you don't have to type individually all your email addresses. It's a good option to do. Just gonna hit X. Say no to saving the changes. You can say yes if you want to save it to your draft. So that's your contacts, and you can edit any of your contacts by double clicking on it. If you already had your contacts in an Excel file, or if you had been using Gmail or Hotmail and you have your contact list there, if you go in there in the contacts category of your email, you'll see there is an option to export the file as a CSV format. So export it and save it to your desktop, and what you can do is when you click on file, there is an option called import export, and you choose the option import from another file or another program, this option. Click next, and then you choose comma separated values windows, and then click next. If it was in Excel, you can choose the Excel option. Click next, browse to the file which is on your desktop, and then just follow the process. Sometimes you might have to do the mapping, that is map the first name to the first name, but a lot of times you don't have to do that. So that way you can import your contacts in your Outlook contacts. I'm going to come to mail. In the mail section, you can actually create subfolders within your folder. So if I wanted to create a subfolder within inbox, I can just right click on it and I can choose new folder, type something, a name of a folder, click OK, and there's the folder created, testing1. So that's where you can organize your folders. Inbox. If I want to drag an email to testing, I just left click and hold that email and drag it to the new folder testing, and it's gone. I click on testing and there's the email. I can left click and hold it and drag it back to inbox. Now inbox has that email. You can even right click on it and you can find the options to move and things like that, move to folders. So you can do it from there too. When you get emails from people, you can also add them directly to your contacts. So say for example this email address, sometimes you might have to highlight it, sometimes not. So this is, if I right click on it, I see an option called add to Outlook contacts. So I can just start adding people to my contacts rather than doing it manually. Next we will look at calendar and calendar appointments. So when I'm in the calendar, I can double click on any of the dates if I want to add a calendar appointment, and you can view your calendar in a day format, so it shows you the whole day, week format, or the month. So say if I want to add an appointment on January 16th, here. So I just double click on the date, or I can even use the new button here. So it's up to you. I just double click here and this window opens up, and I can put a subject, put a location, there's the date, there's the end time, and is it an all day event? If not, you can remove it, and you can put a date in here, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. or if it was like a meeting, you could put, and then you can put a date there. You can also decide how you want to show your calendar at that time. You can show it as busy, tentative, out of office, because in a work environment, that calendar is shared by multiple people, so people would know what's going on with your calendar and where are you at that time. You can also set a reminder for yourself. So if your Outlook is open, you can say, hey, remind me 1 hour before the meeting, so you'll get a reminder automatically. You can also use the recurrence option, which is if this meeting was going to occur every week, every month, I could click the recurrence, and then I can choose whether this is recurring every daily, weekly, and I can choose which day of the week it is repeating. If it is monthly, I can do that. I can also put like someone's birthday on my calendar, and I can just set a yearly repeat, so it will just automatically keep on adding it. And with the meetings and things like that, you get to choose whether there is an end date to it. So you can choose whether to end after 10 occurrence or by a certain date, or just say no end dates. So you can choose different options and just click OK. You can also invite people, or in a way, like if multiple people were part of this email, say Lisa and stuff like that, I can click on invite. Now I can put their email addresses here, and then keep on adding their email addresses and send it. They'll get an email invitation, and they get to accept or reject the meeting. So if they accept it, that appointment will be automatically added to their calendar. So this is a great way to do it. Now you just have to hit send when you are ready. I'm just going to hit cancel. You also have an option to use this exclamation part, which is like high importance, so people know this is an important meeting that they need to use. So I'm just going to hit cancel right now, and I'm just going to save and close this. So there is my meeting right there. If I had done recurrence, it would have automatically added that. If I want to delete it, I can just right click on it and use the delete option, or click on it and use the delete option on the top there. The same way, you have options in the left hand side called tasks. So I can like just click here and I can say buy grocery. So there is a task, and once I finish the task, I can put a check mark, so it is done. Or not the check mark, that just puts the flag on it. I can right click on it, and I can delete the task if I wanted to. I can also create a new task using this button, new, and up here I get to type more things. I can type the subject, and I can choose the start date, the priority. I can also assign the task to somebody. So, if you were a manager, you can just say this needs to be done and John needs to do it, so you can just email that person the task and they can accept it or reject it. Okay, just gonna click close. And if you want to edit it, you can just double click on it, and now you can, this has the option of recurrence and things like that. And there's a reminder option, and if I want, I can just change it to 100% and just close it and save it. Now that task is done. So you can keep on adding tasks. I'll just put one there just to show you something else later. By grocery. So that these are called tasks. You can also add notes if you look on the left hand corner on the bottom, and you can type notes, new, and this is a note that will stay on your desktop so people can see it, and or you can just leave notes for yourself, reminding yourself to call somebody and things like that. So you can leave notes, which is this notes button on the bottom, or you can just click on the drop down button here and then you can choose the note option, and there is a note that I just added, testing. You can right click, delete, and it is gone. So you got your mail, calendar, contacts, and tasks. So all of those are easy. You just use the new button and you can do it. I just want to share you some options that are available within Outlook to customize the things. So when you go to view, that's where you can choose to customize how you want to see your Outlook. So under view, you got your navigation pane, normal, off, the to-do bar, which is this bar appear on the right hand side. I see the calendar, view, to-do bar, and I can turn it off if I did not want it. View, to-do bar, normal. View, reading pane, which is the thing on the bottom, this part. When I click on my email, on the bottom I see my emails, so that's the reading pane. So if you wanted, you could turn it off, or you can have it on the right hand side. So you got a lot of different options that you can work with to arrange things the way you want it to be. Within the tools, there is options. Now this is where you can do even more stuff. So in this window, you get to choose your preferences. There is the default reminder for your calendar appointments. You can just say make it 1 hour for all my appointments. I should get an appointment, 1 hour reminder. And there's a reminder, a lot of different options you can click on. Contact options. Now in the contact options, you can choose whether to default first name. I like to have the first name first and then the last name. Otherwise it usually does the last name first. So you see up here, file as. I prefer to have it first and last rather than last and first, because when I type people's name, I usually type the first name, but it's up to you how you would like it. In the mail setup, there are some options with send and immediately when connected, so that as soon as the internet sends, it's just going to send out your email rather than you having to hit the send button. Mail format. In the mail format, you get to choose your signature. So this is a very important option here for signatures. That is, when you are sending an email, your name or telephone number or whatever information you want is automatically attached to your email. So when you go to signature, okay, I've just added one in here, so I'll just delete that. So I'll add a new one. Click new, give it a name, main or default, and then just type whatever you want to type here. Just hit save, and you will see on the right hand side here you can choose new message, default, whether you want a signature when you reply to people, so you can even put a signature there. You can also add a picture or some symbols to your signature, and you can create more signatures, and you can choose which one you want to use. So I'll just click new and just type main, click OK, and just type something else here. Click save. So now I have two different signatures that I can choose from. Click OK. So these are some of the very important options when it comes to mail setup. Within send and receive, this button here within mail setup, you also have some options like choosing when do you want your send receive to check. So I changed it to 5 minutes rather than 30 minutes. I can even set that perform an automatic send receive when I close Outlook, so it will force the emails out if there were any waiting. Now when I go to new message, my signature shows up there automatically. I could even click here and I can choose the second main as my signature rather than default. So that's it for this video. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. All of your Outlook stuff in one place. So that's a good option to know. So that's about adding new email addresses. Just going to close this. Next we'll look at contacts. We can have your own address book in Outlook. So if you look on the left hand side, there's a contacts category. And I've already have created some. So if I wanted to add new contacts, I could click on the new button. Now the way this new button works, in the left hand corner below the word file, left hand top, the new button, if you are in contacts and you press new, it opens the window to type new contact. If you are in the mail and you press new, it automatically launches a new email option. If you are in calendar and you hit new, it launches into a new calendar option. Okay. So we'll just come to contacts and you click on new, and then you can just go ahead and type the name Lisa Jones. I had done in the first video by choosing POP3, next, and then just continue finishing it up. You can also see an option here called data files. This is where your Outlook folder is located. You can go to the open folder. So if you were moving to a new Outlook or a different computer, you could actually copy this folder, this file especially, not the folder, just a file called outlook.pst, which has pretty much. This is the second part of the video for Microsoft Outlook 2007, and in this second part we're going to go on to the other parts of Outlook, mainly calendar, contact, task, and notes, and some other small features. I was mentioning earlier that you can actually use Outlook to get all of your email in one place. So if you have a Gmail account, or if you have multiple Gmails account and a Hotmail account, you can have all the emails come in one place. And to add new email accounts, or if you made some changes to the email account you already had, you wanted to edit it, you go to Tools, Account Settings, and in the account settings, like right now, I have my email address listed here, and I could choose it to change. If I wanted to update, say I moved my email service provider to someone else, I could click change, and then I could make the changes here. Or I could add new, and then I just continue with the steps